travelers. Welcome to the midway point through turn 2. It has been a very eventful turn. Several more of the Tau and Chaos and Orc reinforcements arrived this turn. The most notable additions being the 2 Tau Tiger Sharks and 2 Barracudas. Also the arrival of the Demon Lord of Tzeentch over here, who has been summoned on the far end of the bridge here anyway. Again, supposedly was the Defender's zone originally, but that whole thing didn't really work out. They defy your heteronormative stereotypes. They can just deploy anywhere they want. They don't even care. It's great. It's a very progressive way to go about an apocalypse game. Anywho, so more of the demons arrived, and also some units of Chaos Marines came in from the flanks, and the Mirage Stealth Devilfish also arrived. On the bridge here, the War Trucks advanced, followed by La Stampa. All of the knobs that were inside of the Stampa disembarked and headed back towards the Tau lines to help some of the Gene Stealers back there. The Green Tide did not move because of both the arriving Worldscape from the Deceiver and the fact they got hit by a Night Spinner last turn, and they had no idea to be torn to pieces by moving. So they all stood very, very still and just admired the scenic woods that were throughout the Arboretum. Moving on to the shooting phase. There was a lot of it. The Sky Sweep Missile Defense Squadron, consisting of a Tau Skyrace, was able to take down the Eldar Vampire Hunter. The 2 Tau Tiger Sharks fired at the Hierophant and were successful in taking a whopping 2 wounds off of it. So what, it's down to 8? It has 10 wounds? Okay. The area denial nodes fired at the Revenant Titan were successful in taking 2 structure points off, so it has 1 structure point left. As a result of various other damages that it has accumulated over this phase, it has had its movement reduced to half due to damages to its drive. It may not move next turn, and also one of its pulse lances may not shoot next turn. Several Seeker missiles were able to impact the Sunstorm Squadron and take out several of the tanks in there, so I believe there is only 2 fully operational tanks left in that squadron and one that doesn't have a weapon. On the back lines here, there was a squad of Dire Avengers which was wiped out by a unit of Tzeentchian Flamers. The Demon Lord of Tzeentch was able to cast several spells. He turned several Dire Avengers into Chaos Spawn and wiped out the rest. Was able to kill the Deceiver, which was standing near the bottom of the bridge. Was also able to summon a unit of Horrors, which wiped out the remains of the Longfang Squadron, which had been in the Bastion. There was various shooting at the Tyranid units, which came down here. Units of Gene Stealers were wiped out. There were damages to the Raveners. Trigon was killed by a combination of Tau broadside fire. The Shock Attack Battery suffered a terrible misfortune when they fired their battery and were actually fired at the Titan. So they're over here now in close combat with the Titan. So they were fired through their guns at the Titan, where one was unceremoniously crushed by a Titan foot. On the assaulting phase, it was mostly the Orks and Chaos that were in assault. The Bloodthirster assaulted the Titan and was able to, again, to damage its drive and prevent one of its weapons from shooting last turn. The Gene Stealers on the bridge were wiped out by a combination of the Dreadnought and the Meganob Squadron, led by Volgrim. The Lictor and Crisis Suit combat here continued. Chazo Ryla was killed. The Nightbringer wiped out the Tank Busters over here. The major combat, though, of course, was the assault of the Wolf Lords, Space Wolves, against the Lords of the Black Crusade. It was a close-fought match. The Wolf Lords succeeded in inflicting 6 wounds, and the Black Crusade succeeded in inflicting 7, but due to a combination of force weapon usage on their part and other various shenanigans, they were successful in killing everyone in the squadron except for Wolf Lord Ragnos. So that will continue into next turn. So I believe that takes us to the midpoint of turn 2. We'll be moving on to the opposing phase after a short break from refreshments.
Actually, I want to just kind of get your opinion. How did you guys think that last turn?
I will deliver nothing to you.
Nothing?
I will give no indication of our thoughts on this.
Why not?
Blank slate, right here.
It's clean.
Okay.
Can you read this? There's nothing.
Tabula rasa, bitches. Okay.
I don't even know what that
means.
I don't know. Oh, fuck my life. I just... James! Game on, bitches!
Stefan? Smash.
Alright.
In my defense, I was right. He wasn't crazy enough to buy it. I helped.
You...
Okay, when I wanted to buy it, my cash was slightly not all there, so he actually bought it and I paid him back.
This is why you have no money now, Shaughn.
I got my money
I
back.
paid him back in like, what, a month?
Yeah, about that.
Ooh.
Yep.
How much does that sucker run? About
That's
a grand.
cow,
Yeah.
alright.
I think he really wants to win.
I say we let him.
He wanted more.
GG, guys. GG.
Alright, so it is kind of the end of turn 2. It's the end of a shooting phase for Shaughn and Stefan's turn 2. We are calling it for the night because it's quite late and there's going to be a lot of salting at the end of this turn. So, we'll just do a recap of what has happened, the story thus far as it is. Everything else in the Eldar, Necron, Tyranid, Space Wolf armies came on this turn, including the Phantom Titan, which I don't even know. My words are failing me. My judo grip around the throat of the English language is yielding nothing for which I can describe this. It was not something we expected at all. But here it is, large as life and possibly larger. So, yeah, that was great. In terms of other stuff that came on, we had the Endless Swarm, all the rest of the Tyranids, Hive Tyrants, Gargoyles, Turvagons, all kinds of nastiness in that regard. The Wraith Guard showed up along the side. Pyron and the Herodule came up as well. Shadow Spectres and the unit looks like Shining Spears came down in the back there. And the Tombstalker came up over there, as well as some Thunderwolf Cavalry right beside the Trigon there. The Disruption Beacon was active on the Piranha, and the Moloch came up underneath it, just pulled some bullshit, and destroyed it. That was why everything got to come down there. In the shooting phase, everything went to hell, if I were to put it succinctly. Okay, the Aerodule took out 2 of the area denial nodes. The Revenant Titan destroyed the Stompa. The Hierophant tried to shoot the defense laser and was not successful in it. Then the Phantom Titan fired at it and blew the crap out of it, just annihilated it. There was an apocalyptic explosion which took out everything. Took out most of the Havoc Squad, most of a squad of Chaos Space Marines and Burnas, most of the Ork bikes. Now the Destroyer hit, that destroyed the defense laser, also hit the Moloch and destroyed it, but took one for the team. One of the 2 Tiger Sharks was blown up by the Necron Pylon. One of the area denial nodes was taken out by the Phantom Titan. All the Hammerheads are out, taken out by the squad of Wraith Guard, which were very, very sneakily coming along the edge. And that's actually most everything that was taken out by the shooting, most of the big stuff. So we're going to be commencing the assault phase when this game resumes, most likely in a number of weeks. And we'll see where we're at from there. So it is the end, finally, of turn 2. After much consternation of many weeks of completely futile planning, turn 2 has come to an end. There were many assaults that took place this turn, sweeping from one end of the board to the other. Starting in the back, we had a squad of Shooter Boys wiped out by a unit of Gene Stealers that arrived, and the Burna Boys took several casualties from the Tombstalker. A squad of Ludas was wiped out by the charge of the Thunderwolf Cavalry, and Tyranids essentially removed the majority of the Chaos Space Marines that were down in this quadrant down here around the landing pad. The Hierophant tried to attack a Rhino and completely failed to do anything except take out the 2 weapons that were on it. The collection of warriors down here assaulted the remaining Defiler and damaged it some more, but it's still hanging in there. It's lost every single one of its weapons except for the autocannon. The combat up here on the bridge between the Lictors and the Crisis Suits continued in what is more or less a bloody stalemate. The Nightbringer finally took down the last of the tank busters that were attacking it. In the valley here, it's the Valley of Death as it were, the Endless Swarm charged the Green Tide. The Green Tide was actually successful in winning the combat by a whopping 3 models. It was 43 to 41. However, it doesn't look as if it's going to fare well for them next turn. They'll enjoy their moment of victory. The Demon Prince was killed by the Howling Banshees. Bloodthirster up here was killed by the Winged Hive Tyrant that had arrived. The Big Mechs and the Bloodletters were both wiped out by squads of Gargoyles. The ongoing assault featuring the Lords of the Black Crusades and Logan Grimnar was joined by some warriors. There's only 1 left now, but 3 of the Lords of the Black Crusade have been killed. There's a few models left in there. Unit of Assault Terminators decided to beat up on some Horrors because Horrors are so awesome in close combat they felt that it would be a good test of their martial prowess. And they were successful! Makes them feel like men, I don't know. A squad of Chosen was wiped out by a unit of Wolf Guard, although they took down a few as well. The remnants of the Chaos Space Marines that had infiltrated in the back corner there were killed by Crandris. The Hive Tyrant was successful in wiping out a stealth squad that was back there. In what was probably the most exciting combat of the entire turn, we had a squad of Dire Avengers assault the unit of stealth teams, and that combat is ongoing. There's one stealth team member left. And finally, Lucas the Trickster and his squad assaulted the Demon Lord of Tzeentch with the intent of using his stasis grenade on him. The Demon Lord killed the Wolf Priest with the squad, and the rest of the unit was consolidated away. So that's the end of turn 2. We're going to move now on to turn 3. You could consider just going straight to turn 4, but we're just gonna lay it down traditionally, keep with the normal manner, just so everyone stays calm and things continue to go as planned. It's gonna be rad. It's gonna be WTFK rad. In fact, I would say that. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Don't use that. Okay, but seriously, he's gonna use it. I know he's gonna use it. But